welcome back to Disco Elysium. Yes, it has been quite a bit, and from what happened last time, we didn't get as far as we hoped. After busting our ass trying to solve the case, we got held up by a extremely racist union man who, as a result, forced us to read a book and to ponder the meaning of life, until we got the skill to be able to do a sick spinning kick and knock him on his ass. But now that we have granted ourselves entrance to the Union, it is time we put down the strike and figure out who was responsible for the murder. So, let us get into it. I love how shitty our bed is in this. Oh, we didn't ever take that cassette tape? Okay. So our goal for today is to speak to Everard, finish talking to these union guys, and hopefully, hey, is that RCM right there? They got the little things on the back.
In an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Hold on, you're a patrol officer for the RCM?
Yes, I am.
Hey, I'm a cop too.
I know.
Here's the real deal.
It's hard to tell whether he's sarcastic or sincere, but if you had to guess, you would say the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
You know, I'm on a murder investigation. Are you the cavalry?
I'm definitely not the cavalry.
Well, is everything all right? Why don't you want to talk to me?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
Why I love this response. Why I bring word of the end of to come.
Of course he does.
That's definitely a wig.
Word of the end to come.
Then something changes in her. It's pity. Pity comes over her.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
What precinct are you from?
What precinct?
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
You know, you're the police, right? You know what? So am I.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith.
Wait, is he police?
Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
Okay.
So what are you, the police, doing here?
I'm just looking out for...
You?
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
A policewoman.
Yes. A policewoman who just wants to do her job. That's all.
Something about the man with sunglasses and you, the energy between you two is making her uncomfortable.
Well, okie dokie. Who's this dude? Is that the man from the roof? It is.
Another rendezvous.
Hello, adjust your tie.
Hello, hello. So what brings you here?
Oh, hold on. Let's see if
Bye-bye,
we can
gendarme.
increase our composure. Conceptualization, endurance, drama. You have nothing that increases composure, huh?
Hi again, gendarme.
What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
Oh, yeah, I live here.
Convenient. But what are you doing here? Talking to me?
Can you tell me about that muscular type who came to investigate the crime?
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
And what did you tell him?
Nothing. That I didn't see anything.
Did he believe you?
Why shouldn't he?
Did you tell him about your friend?
What friend?
Your Sunday friend, the witness.
No, I don't think it came up.
And what did he look like?
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Was he alone?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece,
And what was he saying?
just reporting back whatever I was telling him.
So besides muscular, did he have any other identifying traits?
Oh, let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Well, thanks for the information.
Sure. Anything else on your mind?
I did meet your Sunday friend.
You did? And how did you like him?
He was magical. Magically bureaucratic.
I told you, he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people.
So who is he?
A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return
From where?
to his opportunities in Occident, sur la clé. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know.
So what are you two?
Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time.
And what's a Sunday friend?
That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess.
Is that even a friend?
It is. On Sundays.
So why was he staying at your place in the middle of the night?
He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean.
I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about you now.
Hmm? What
So
about me, gendarme?
what is it about him, the way he carries himself?
It's the sports. He's a sports guy.
Aw.
All about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Bye-bye. Okay, now to go to the Union. Because once we speak to the Union, I believe we'll be done with every major event up here. So we can eventually move ourselves to the Western Island to continue from there. Oh yeah, we can also go through here now. Okay, radio. Oh, another postcard. Ooh, can we get drugs in here? No, but we do get glasses and drugs. Logic authority, perception, inland, visual calculus. Not bad. Love Fume, Volume 1, Number 4. Okay, we can look at that later then.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
Okay, we'll insert 10 cents then.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Oh man, if I had my interfacing stuff with me right now, let's leave. And up our interfacing. Electro, concept, endurance, drama, interfacing. Just throw the beanie on to have it. Well, we actually don't have that much for
The
interfacing.
already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you. Your fingers
Hey.
run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. And a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lummy. How may I help you?
Wait, what is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lummy.
No, I meant what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Do you know me?
No.
So why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Maybe, but I don't even know my name.
If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
He thinks you're pulling a prank on him. The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Aw. No new friend. How sad. Hey, at least we can get our coat back now.
The tarpaulin cloak is still hanging on the railing. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back. As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
We got our cloak back, so what does it do? Oh, it's not bad. Let's throw it on, and let's throw on a more presentable shirt underneath it. Ooh, bottles.
Numerous empty wine bottles glisten in the rain. Someone partied really hard here.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
I must have been on an advanced scouting mission in the harbor.
Yes, this looks pretty advanced, alright. For now, let's just move on.
Yeah. This is trying to blend in with the boys.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
So this is where Renee works. I'm gonna snoop about in it.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
Mine.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. René looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories.
Why did you take that picture of René?
I'm a cop. It's instinctual to collect evidence.
Fine. But let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
You're just jealous of my cop skills. It's the Wild Pines logo. No, we can't go over that way. Okay.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marche. On. Arrête. Off.
Let's press marsh.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. This crane was built with a purpose, which has now been fulfilled. To move this container.
I wonder what's inside the
Who
container.
can say?
I've actually never opened it up.
It's special.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers. Except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Money. Yeah, let's see if we can get into it.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
You know, Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
Maybe, but I can't tell. I think we should investigate further.
You do? Because I don't.
Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
It feels special, Kim.
It's a cargo container, detective, just like all the others. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
No reply. No reply. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
Oh, rhetoric? I think we can boost our rhetoric, actually. Or get rid of the debuff to it.
You're back before the cargo container. It's
Oh, we
why
failed.
are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Because what wasn't an option?
Never mind.
Are you satisfied, detective?
I think you actually have to be more of a capitalist in order to open the door and actually have like the capitalist trait. At least that's what I remember. Ooh. Gloves. I don't remember what Half-Life does though, honestly. I think it's some survival thing? I honestly don't know. Hey, dude over here.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Hey, yo.
Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
No.
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
Well, I mean, do they?
Just
I'm
some of
kidding,
the
yeah,
other
we-
guys
they
don't
do.
look kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Ubi, right?
Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
So what are you doing on those containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
So what's going on here? We failed.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
You know, red is better than old green.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I had to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
So where is everyone? The harbor is empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
Wait, what sort of trouble?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling him to take some time off.
Did they kill someone?
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking.
He probably doesn't know anything anyway.
Okay.
Who in their right mind would tell him?
So you work here, I'm assuming.
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done
what the
and you and
fuck?
the missus sit down beside the radio.
Good to know.
But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
So who is this Miss Beaufort?
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word.
That's the lawyer friend with Titus's group.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
So this union fixer, she's the gardener?
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip too.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
So what's in the container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
So I'm looking for the leader of the dock workers union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
So hold on, Leo. I just want to know where I can find the man.
Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Bye-bye now.
Why does art inspire you so much?
No, art is for arrogant blowhards. Why am I getting this?
Yet your eye constantly seeks out the most critical side of any aesthetic confrontation. You follow the expressions of imagination and technical skill with curiosity. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world?
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
You know, this is stupid. Architecture is stupid.
Such vigor. Already you express a sharp, descriptive mind, ready to slash through the empty and superficial in favor of the sublime and the beautiful. Do it. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
No, I cannot risk another capo diversion. That said corpo. But no,
Bravo.
we have more than enough right now. Oh, we can... I don't think the sleeping dock worker is still there. There's just a swordfish on the wall. Okay.
Before you is
That's a
walrus of a
goofy-ass
man
portrait.
seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Wait, why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Yeah, that's not my kind of thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan of Volition, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
It's sure engaging.
I hope time is on your
I would
side,
rather
Mr.
stand.
Dubois. Let us converse in a civilized manner.
Fine.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you are a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Wait, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
You know what? I'm good.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, don't worry, he actually meant, be very worried.
You know, I'm not actually worried about this at all, but thanks for the, notice.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry Because you lost your gun, and those children are gonna shoot themselves.
No, I'm not gonna cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to a safe place.
Everard is distracted by your odd behavior. The lieutenant's eyes are mapping everything around you. The folder, desk, papers on the wall.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
No, I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
I'm just curious. What's in the container outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
But there's a special one that was attached to a crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talk?
Aw.
Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
You know, I have heard that the union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy.
No comment.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
You know what? You know, I did finish my investigation into the local drug trade too.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
So aren't you going to ask me how I got in?
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard?
You don't have a window.
It was a figure of speech, Harry. Of course I don't have a window. I'm in a container. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
You call me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
So that's my name?
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
Likely.
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, See what his game is first.
No, I'm just messing with you. I just want to see your character.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently, my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
So what's my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You feel like a Dubois, but you don't feel like a Harry. Strange.
You know, I like it. I can work with it.
And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you?
Do you live here?
But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay.
He doesn't really seem to know any more about it.
So do I have a wife or kids or...
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
I think I'd be a wonderful father.
Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry.
So what kind of cop does it say I am?
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
I'm sorry?
Yes. You seem to be. A lot of the time. But right now, there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you.
So how did you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Let's look at the folder again.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. Is he trying to hide that it's not a real RCM folder? It certainly doesn't have the RCM stamp on it.
Yeah, that's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said.
Hell yeah.
Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
And I noticed that some of the footprints were of worker boots.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Please extend him this courtesy. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
Cool. We get to humiliate him. You know, I did meet Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy.
What happened to Mr. Galman?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you just let him go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry.
Oof.
I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Joyce mentioned that the previous union leader just suspiciously vanished.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Right.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it, though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
However, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low-balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
So why haven't you seen her?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Fine.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
So let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Could he really be holding my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Wait, the gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in?
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
You know what? I will not be blackmailed with my gun.
Harry, Harry. I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you like I'm helping you with the body and your lost gun. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Say nothing.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Wait, Kim, is that true?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Why not just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Whose door?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
And what do you mean by weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
You know, I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Fine, we'll look into it.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
I'll be back.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great, wouldn't want to get stuck in here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Can we fast travel? I think we can. Could have sworn there was like a form of fast travel like available. No? I guess not. I could have sworn there was.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Okay, let's
The draw slide.
see if we have anything to increase violation. Looks like we don't, but we'll still give it a try.
Stand steady. Whatever's hidden
Hey.
here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Let's look at it.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Hey, Kim, it's a to-do list with a note of what errands need to be done for Everart.
One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. Remember, Leo, all items the drawer.
Alright. Guess we're good here then.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
Labor Utopia.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Everart said you had a key to a door.
Key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
No weasels, I think.
Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
You know, I'm not opening for myself. I'm opening it for the working men.
I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing too. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Is there anything else I should know about this task?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everart. Who he is, and what they're fighting for. This is interesting. Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Tell me about the Hardy Boys.
Los Hardys? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everart's law. But really, they're just like you.
And why are they striking?
We're negotiating our share.
Share?
Aye.
How large of a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people, or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
And are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
But the stuff you do aligns admirably well with the World Republic. Why not call yourself a communist?
I have nothing against communists. They are honorable boyaderos. And they have good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code, then I will have to submit to a new one, which may well be communism.
He knows who he is, firmly grounded, has no need to reinforce or elaborate his political identity to himself or others.
Fair point.
See, I'm primarily a lazy person.
Tell me about Everart.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
And what does that entail?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
Well, that desk seemed a little lavish.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about this.
Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Maybe I'm a Boyadero.
No.
But
no. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider, if need be. An endless torrent of time.
Any idea who killed the hangman?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
The Merc was hanged with a very specific type of cargo belt, one often used in heavy transport areas, for example, harbors.
What a thought. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Pushed how?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
Did you kill him?
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
Thanks for talking to us. Let's go back to our... Oh, actually, we're going to sell the bottles we got. Go to our car. And, deal with that one thing for Everart. Then we'll deal with the body last.
The tear machines, your bottles, your 100... Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find more out about the owners of the armored boots?
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Nope, thanks.
In the cabin.
Thought you would have heard some by now. Maybe we have to check in that evening? Okay, so we're gonna go do this for Everart now. Oh, that's that one door we couldn't get into earlier.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Let's unlock the door.
You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver.
Let's go in. Drugs. Suitcase.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
What do I mean, uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
What an asshole.
This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Let's compare the mug.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his
But
trash.
why would he get rid of it?
And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Do you really think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from these clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
See if there's anything we can prove upon. Oh yeah, let's try to or it says it's impossible. Composure, interfacing, heroic, electrochemistry. Let's actually let's help with our electrochemistry. Because our physical instrument is maxed out.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Oh, sure. Ooh, yes. Logic +1.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the
This
sun?
isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
And what's that?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag. It is but one of the many strange optic atmospheric phenomenon of this wondrous archipelago. You're sure you once saw sundogs in your youth?
Let's
And blue flares.
leave
The
it
flag
be.
doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Hey, let's get out of here. Since we did up our electrochemistry, oh, we need to go back into the hostel anyways. Let's actually run down to the one dude at the pawn shop, do the electrochemistry there, see if we can do that. It's getting pretty close to leveling up again soon, just over halfway. Some men playing with bulls.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Oh yeah, let's boost our electrochemistry. If we can. Drama, electrochemistry, electrochemistry.
Hello again. How can I
They're
help
58.
you?
Aw,
Nope, still no clue.
that's sad. Let's go back up to the apartment, though. Or the hotel room, just to look at it. See if we can actually do it this time. I believe after starting today, we don't have to stay at the hostel anymore. We can unlock, like, a new house. To sleep in for free.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Still impossible, damn.
Still. You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette.
Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to use a e-cigarette. I mean, we're already up here. Let's talk to the John Luke to get him to put the body out from the tree.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic.
I knocked you out like a god of martial arts.
True. I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered. A little.
So, can you get the body down from the tree?
So it was. You bested me in race combat to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, enemy. I will go and remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Fine. Well, wait.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Apparently so.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I don't. I think I've seen enough of that dead body.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Spoken by a mercenary pretending to be a worker.
Yes, I'm an unbelievably corrupt cop. I'm corrupt every opportunity I get.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
And Measurehead's back.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself.
Thanks, Measurehead.
Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a union man from now on.
You know, normally I think being called ham sandwich is funny, but I don't want him to call me ham sandwich. Right, before we talk to Evrar, I will be right back. And I'm back. Let's speak to the totally not corrupt union boss. Anywho.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Cool, I did your deed.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
You know, I did go inside. The weasel had the flag of the old Revolution on his wall.
Exactly the kind of fascist memorabilia I was expecting. Weasel probably prays to it every night for the downfall of the Union.
And we can level up. Well, we don't need to worry about the policeman cloak since we already grabbed it. Some arm butter. Encyclopedia. Yeah, you know what? Let's boost our encyclopedia.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
And I've heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, and I'd like to know what you, think about it.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Wait, move the container?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
And who did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably
does
worded
not
it
sound like him.
differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
You know, there's a collection of colonial mugs in that one room you had me kick in, and it's similar to the ones I found in the dumpster, which, funnily enough, had the hangman's clothes in there as well.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best, helping people, with the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
But this weasel might have cleaned up after the killers.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Say nothing.
Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very befitting a police officer. I'm not a real detective. You are.
And how do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
The name of the company is Krenel this time. Might have been Sediment before.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
And the remaining mercenaries are organizing a tribunal to take on the Hardys.
Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
You don't seem too worried about it.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
You mentioned a lawyer girl?
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Tell me about Titus Hardy and the crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind.
Right.
Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
Ever, I met these Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
But of course. It's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
I really don't need it.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else?
Enough about this.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Yet?
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left, so you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
I'm more left than you are.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me?
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
And what do you think of this, Kim?
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
And what are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth center in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates.
But you're peddling drugs.
There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
And where is this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, A little village, they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
And what will happen to the current
They
occupants?
are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
And you're 100% nobody's going to end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're going to build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
He means it.
Fine.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here, you need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist. See you soon.
We're totally going to look at the letter.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope.
Oh, hold on. We need higher logic for this. What's -1 to our logic right now? Shades of self-destruction. Okay, logic. There we go. We have 3 additional logic. Maybe that's enough?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way. There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Wait, what are the ramifications of this?
Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
Hey, Kim, these people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it?
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the water.
Alright, sounds good. Let's actually go to the body next and, well, speak with the Hardy Boys. Well, the body's definitely down from the tree.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Well, it's down.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
Okay, let's actually boost our authority in case we need it. Field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
Got it.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
All right, let's... Well, first, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Well, officer, you know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis Diso, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
So, why don't you know? What use are you?
You must have me confused with the Copopedia.
Copopedia?
You, sir, you are the Copopedia.
Do you have another pair of gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
I do have the gardening gloves.
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes.
We just fill this in, right?
That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol. Yeah, we got this. We're smart.
Hold on, we're actually going to equip the gloves and give ourselves a little bit of a boost in interfacing just to be safe. So let's actually remove everything. That, maybe I removed too much. I thought I had a boost in interfacing. Oh wait, there's more stuff up top. Let's do conceptualization. Where's our shoes? Did I lose our shoes? Oh, there they are. And let's throw on the lounge jacket. The hat. Oh, and, oh, we have glasses on. Right before we do that, I just need to get my dog some water real quick. And I'm back. Now we'll actually investigate the body.
Looking man, the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Opening the ledger at the field. Oh, wait. Can we try to remove the
I
boots?
thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not...
Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone asleep.
Okay. Let's open our
The
ledger.
dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Step 1. Assistant.
That's you.
Harry Dubois.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says...
2. Coroner's case number...
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me? Technically, I arrived at the scene before you.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
I'm not sure.
I do. KK57-0503-0815. Next.
Name.
We've heard the nom de guerre. Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down.
Lele. Nom de Gua.
What's next? Date of birth?
Yep.
NA.
Age?
Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I'm going to write roughly 42.
He nods.
Race?
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex?
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
Male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death?
We're still going with March 4th, 51.
4/3/51.
9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment?
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
What is treatment anyways?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
How
Gotcha.
did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed. Don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure.
I mean, I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over?
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then... somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
When am I going to get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
Omit the boots.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Stroke his hair.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head.
Keep petting him.
More hair sticks to the glove. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape. There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over now.
There, baby.
The lieutenant watches you in silence.
That was some sick shit, Sekopa.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Write down.
Ligature mark. Steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
And good thing we got the chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread.
Oh, don't fuck up.
From the east. After
Yes.
some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point. leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
Now! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Okay, does it look like he was enjoying his moment of death?
Ah yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just write down that we request an analysis.
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor. The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
The scarring is extensive, way more than law officials.
Mm-hmm. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo di Cappadocia? I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy. Before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add the moral of the story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromise its blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
All right, NA.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
Write it down.
Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart, hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Let's look inside.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there, sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Look deeper inside.
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, NA.
We don't have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
No.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it. Same for toxicology and serology.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
What about tidbits and trivia?
No.
But the completionist in me thinks there's something we can still do.
We already have one test as per regulation, and we already requested semen.
Pigs requested semen like it's no big deal.
I'm not even interested in these boring mulcus anymore. I haven't sucked him off or anything.
We change it to toxicology? Seems prudent.
At a request, then. We'll know if drugs or poisons remain in his blood. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with it. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Write down and keep the voila, obviously.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What's the 4th one for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Let's see, bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
That's... The bite marks, we're going to say postmortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a postmortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it postmortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal postmortem.
Right. Next.
Ligature mark.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
I don't know. It just... With the inconsistency of the Hardy's boys and all the information we've gotten, I'm putting non-fatal.
He is deep in thought, eyes fixed on the bright red ring around the dead man's neck.
Why do you say that?
I'm serious. I don't think this was the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
Why weren't his hands tied? A big man like this, I would tie his hands down when marching him to the gallows.
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrists. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
First, how did it go?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
And now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Let's do the perception. Let's need more perception. Actually, we can just upgrade our perception too. And equip stuff to help us with that. Posure. Endurance. We don't have anything to help with perception, okay.
The man is the lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
What is this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around. They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage.
The fuck is he doing?
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Feels right.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
Abrasion collar.
Kuno, is silent. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
Brainstem.
Yes, that's what this part is called. You've seen the drawings. You've studied them.
Feel around.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The undulations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
There's a cavity cut right between the
The
hemispheres.
lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Quivering with awe. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him. The cartilage gives in with a crack, like some fruit. Just like that, your hand is in his head. Strange fluid streams down your wrist, and then you feel it with the tip of your finger. Ice-cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
Feels solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it. From the inside, the object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Forget about the fucking exit wound, Beano. The pig is wearing him like a fuck puppet.
Okay. Yeah, we got it.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
I got it.
My pig's fucking got it?
He's watching his old man get the big prize at the claw game.
What? What is it?
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower. A blossom made of lead.
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
So he wasn't hanged, he was shot.
Falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I have it?
Of course. You deserve it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Say nothing, just nod.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Agreed.
I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
We didn't fall for it, he thinks. There's pride in there. There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Maybe the bullet holds more answers.
We should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Why would anybody do this?
To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
But who did this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him.
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it doesn't explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me.
And what happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. Work on the case, tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
The word lingers in the air of the yard. Far away, dogs are barking. Further yet, the sound of motor traffic. Detective.
Okay, let's not have him bag him just yet. I think we can put him in the fridge, but I'm trying to remember how we do that. So I think we have to go back to the bookstore. I thought the fridge was on, so let's double check. Because we can just store the body there instead.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Somewhere in the dark, something close to you.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
The lieutenant raises somewhere. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
See if we can crack the lid open at least. Let's upgrade our physical instrument. Not upgrade it, we don't want to lose Kim just yet. Actually, we can't upgrade physical instrument again, so let's... I know there's another way we can do it. It's just going to take us a moment to get to that. And I don't want to lose Kim halfway through the day. What we will do is look at that bullet.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
Let's feel the bullet through the bag.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets, The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
And what do I do with you, bullet?
What?
I said, what do I do with you, bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me.
Good idea.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter. You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
Well, let's see if we can better our hand-eye coordination real quick. Damn. What's hand-eye coordination under? Motor X. Can still try it at least.
The bullet is still safely sealed away.
Failed.
I can't remember what happened.
Right. Real quick, I think we can go back up to our room and try the encyclopedic stuff. Think that'll help with encyclopedic? No. Let's still go upstairs and try it. Hey, the window was fixed here, I just noticed.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, like the rest of...
Damn. Now I gotta speak with, Hardy.
It's you again. What is it?
You know, I just found a bullet in the hanged man's head.
A bullet, you say? That's mighty curious.
Indeed. Mighty. How did it get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads. I guess it's a little logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
Sire, it would be an event most dramatic if you were to produce the bullet and dangle it before their very eyes.
So I'm gonna ask you again, why was this in the victim's head?
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
You know, I think the hanging was a cover-up for the shooting.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
All the goofing around is to avoid lying. It's a technique. They're only pretending to enjoy this. Beneath the act, they don't like you knowing this.
So you guys shot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
No, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
Never been worried in my life, lawman.
It's not like he blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there, somewhere.
You know, I found someone who saw the hanging.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just cop tactics, Titus. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
Well, he isn't a local.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery fella?
He's not alarmed by the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised. This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
Let's just say he's a high-ranking government official and leave it at that.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plant was in our town. Nice try, right?
MI is short for Moral Intern. Moral Intern is short for Moralist International, the coalition that runs Rivershaw.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
The witness said the hanging went down very quietly. No shouting, no commotion.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Yeah, it's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
No, I'd imagine you guys drinking and singing lynching songs. What's with the funeral silence?
We were drinking, weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
Right. I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
Bullseye. Glenn looks around uncomfortably. The lieutenant hit a nerve.
And the witness said he saw two people Ariel Palgate descend and one Mesk.
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
And the witness said it all looked like a surreal play.
Those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language. Everything's a surreal play or sublime whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there wasn't.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
Enough about the witness.
Some witness. I pulled the same shit. Came up with some shit, then went and said it to people. Get a reaction. Don't have to go to cop school to try that.
You don't have to go to school for shit. I never went to school, and I'm doing great.
You're doing a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
We're probably going to fail this, but yep.
This time it's going to work. Did you already? You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
Stop the
Yeah. Aren't you for God, they're not going to give you anything. Can't you see? What is your
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
It's you again. What is it?
Right. Give me a quick moment. I'm going to grab a quick snack. And I have returned. Just kind of skipping out lunch today and having some chips. Totally healthy meal. So Everett and I talked, and he promised you'd cooperate with us.
So you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
You know, why don't you push me some more and find out, Gimp?
You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I am, you big pussy. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Oh, come on.
So many bad options ruled out, it's insane. There is no way in the world you won't do it this time.
You know what? You guys must be the cops. Because this is what cops do, right? Live in a bar, sit on their fat asses like they own the place, while the neighborhood goes to shit. Corpses hang from trees. Kids shoot up.
Hey, we don't have to fucking take this shit.
Glenn.
Everyone shut up! Fuck you, man. You didn't see the place before we got here. Fucking graffito everywhere.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
No, it's not about who did this, it's about the victim, and she needs help.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her. But you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her. A freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde. That's Amon Ju with an O-U.
Shit. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
The disco dancer?
Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
So what's her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Something is off here. His anger is possessive.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
So when was that?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Here you go, boss.
And what was your relationship with her?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it...
It would...
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
So she's not from around here?
You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranye disco dancer is an immigrant or a drifter of some sort. Been staying over here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
So, you said you partied, but what do you mean by that?
What do you think I meant?
Drugs?
Yeah, we did them. What's that to you?
So you two were close.
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
Thanks, we'll talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that?
You mean the sweating and the fidgeting when he mentioned her name?
Yes.
And the sort of quivering jello thing with the eye?
Yes.
I know that woman.
The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
You know, I met her in the hallway after I woke up.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday.
She knows I didn't remember being a cop.
Okay, that's manageable.
And I tried to hit on her.
Understood.
It went pretty okay, though.
It doesn't matter how it went, officer. What else?
Nothing.
We'll be alright, officer. This is nothing.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be alright. Is it though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up. The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up.
Which we will. The room is sad.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
There's quite a collection in here.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
There's Nacra, which is an opioid antagonist.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
See if we can boost our electrochemistry. Yeah, well, it's already boosted. Okay, can do the Shades of Self-Destruction.
The This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
Yeah, we're not going to take it. But what's so exciting about it?
It's speed, man.
Oh.
Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Peptide.
Peptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
We're not going to take it. We're better than this. We're drug-free.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
You know, this window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced?
The one I smashed in my room.
Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
Stop distracting him! He has work to do! Plus, if I recall, the window has been giving him shit ever since he got here!
Oh, wait. Oh, so the bedroom is its own separate environment. Gotcha. Wait, there's a... It's over here.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Aw.
The wind brushes them off the roof. They're gone. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy.
I don't know. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door.
You think it's important?
I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
So maybe the door below is a mega investigation.
No, still a mini investigation.
Let's leave it for the time being. I think this will be one of the last things we do because we can't upgrade our physical instrument anymore. Actually, I think we're maxed out on our physical instrument for clothing. Yeah.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Is there a cleaning lady? I think I need one.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the Infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer?
Once a cop, always a cop.
Like riding a cop-a-cycle.
Cop-a-cycle.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man who was hanged. The people responsible have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like I hear you have been through something difficult. No need to dilly-dally. She's tough.
Let's work our way towards it.
You sound like a namby-pamby.
You know, I noticed your room is quite close to mine. I kind of have a personal question.
Yes, you're just one room away. Very personal.
Good. Yes. This means she could have heard something. Like what you were doing before you blacked out.
Where were you on Sunday night? I need to know what I did before I lost my memory.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions. Like,
get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
What is your name, miss, for the record?
Clausier Amondou.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as does her accent. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Are you from Oranje?
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate.
And what is Oranje?
A bad memory, officer.
Of what?
Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass, duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. A night. At least it was for me.
what's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
And what do you do, miss? What's your specialization?
Something stupid.
Which is?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
And what is it about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
What do you do with it?
Nothing. I do nothing with it.
Well, then how do you make money then? Money is very important. Show her some money.
Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit.
Being what?
Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
It's the world's most tired smile. Miss Oranje, now there is something you should linger on.
We're not going to linger on that.
Mm-hmm. I would offer you coffee, but it's garbage. Literally tastes like poison.
Could we take a look at your passport, please?
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
I'm pretty sure I have a legal right to demand your passport, miss.
Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
But that's not why you hid it, though.
It's also why I hid it.
Why else?
I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation.
And what kind of people are these? The ones that you don't like?
I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect.
Not yet.
Phew.
Playfully, she doesn't seem to be overly distressed. Or distressed at all, really.
And how do I know you've told us your real name?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Mondou. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Cool.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
And that's it for the record?
The record? So official.
Nice room you have here.
Yeah, it's pretty deluxe.
And why are you at the Whirling in Rags?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
Why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
Here in Revachol.
I always wanted to see the only city in the world in the worst time of the year. It's a tourist thing.
This is by far not the only reason she's here. And she isn't really hiding it either.
You know that window is new.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
And where does the door lead to?
I have no idea, officer.
And I've noticed you have quite the collection of prescription drugs.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
It's nothing to be proud of, miss.
What did you say?
You heard what I said. Narcomania is a serious issue and nothing to scoff at.
Oh my god. Now it's turning into narcomania. It's got to be serious if it's 2 words. I'm sorry.
You know, that's as far as I'll go then.
Very funny.
She obviously doesn't care. We don't want to antagonize her either. But I hate to say it, you've got a sad written all over the place.
Yeah. I've contaminated it pretty bad.
Is that why you're out here?
The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The sad got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door.
What exactly is the nature of this contamination?
For me, it's a mix of me with a lack of cleaning services. Talk around the establishment is, you have an industrial sad spill in there.
For me, it's alcoholism, miss.
Cool. I think I'm developing a pinch of that too. It hasn't done wonders to my taste in interior decoration.
I have other questions for you.
Okay.
That was a very loud gain on her mic.
Sparkling and draped in smoke.
They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Were you sexually assaulted, miss?
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Yeah, actually, it's already afternoon.
Is it? It is afternoon. Time flies, man.
So you weren't?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. If she's acting, she's quite gifted. By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
So wait, Titus asked you to spice this up?
Pretty much.
Warming them.
And you're sure this didn't happen?
I'm 89% sure.
Does that mean you're 11% not sure?
You know how it is.
Do you?
How is it then?
Maybe you don't know.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
Ma'am, this is a serious matter and I need a serious statement from you.
Serious.
You hear cracking in her shoulders.
Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been?
You get the feeling she's done enough opiates and needed enough nacra to still be flippant if her arm were cut off and fed to her.
So what did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
What kind of partying? The kind I do?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
Nobody parties harder than me.
Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Were you lovers?
I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
It must be hard for you, seeing him there all the time.
Oh, yes. I have multiple viewpoints. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
The call reporting the hanging, that was you?
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do it?
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him.
The caller's voice was
I
disguised.
didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it? How?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
You were right to suspect there might be foul play involved with the broken phone line.
In the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh yeah, we need to up our hand-eye coordination. Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay. Let it slide. Pushing won't help here.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
He won't be down there long, miss. We will move the body to the morgue soon.
What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
She meant she sees him in her dreams.
We're not going to say that.
You pissed it all away. All of it. Elysium.
What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatre craft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused. Sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Where were you when it happened?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie.
And how do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
And how did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
And did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Thank you for telling us all this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head back downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
I had something else before we go, a little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Why not?
On violation. Hold on, I want to try
I was
this.
just thinking.
And we
She
failed.
looks back. Time moves slowly. Don't worry. We will protect you from abuse. We will see. You are advised. The strange moment. You made the right call there. It feels good. Pure.
About what?
I'm talking about your zero tolerance policy toward the mania of narco. You're in the right there. Powerful stance. Would you like to take it up a notch? Would you like to become an anti-narcomania zealot?
Totally.
Yes, you're pure, unravaged by narco. Of course, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
you've
we've
done a
never
lot
done
of drugs
drugs.
in the past, and will probably do more in the future. But that doesn't matter. Of course not. You've always been anti-narco militant material. You kept her off a dark course with that interjection. Are you ready to save lives?
Hell yeah.
That's good to hear.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Yeah, I'm good.
Deaf. Yeah, a cool...
We're not going to be a superstar. We're a sad cop.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Why did she tell us all that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
You would have caught it.
I would have caught it.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something's just off here, though.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
find yourself looking at that big old window.
Oh, let's see if we can up our perception real quick. No, okay.
Again, you find yourself looking at nothing. Keep at it.
It's you again. What is it?
Class A says she wasn't raped.
Fuck. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Crazy? What are you talking about? She was very lucid.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists down.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hit note. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
Where can I listen to this?
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Where'd you get this tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
And how'd you go about bugging them?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
So which one of you is doing the advanced radio work then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
So what's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
And why should I care about the tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
That's enough for now. I'll get back to our investigation.
Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Thanks, man.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Okay. So, let us listen to it then. Biff the inventory. There we go.
The portal reel is just what you push, command set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your portal reel. The tape stops spinning.
What was that at the very end? Silence?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
I agree. He did sound inebriated, but he did say he was going to do it. You can't edit words into someone's mouth.
Indeed, but...
There's more going on here than we know.
Who's this Cordy?
Corty could be short for Cortenar, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work.
And who's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about. Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
What now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Hobocop.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
You know, Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intentions to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring. As the porcelain meets the metal table, this does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
But he specifically identifies you.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those were the exact words.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Yes.
He liked the way it sounded when he said it. As to Kohoi, he wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Then why say stuff like that, machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
And you spent time with this person romantically?
We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
You know, we requested a semen screening from autopsy or for processing.
What do you think it will tell us?
I don't know how a semen sample works, officers. How many days after intercourse does it have to be? I don't even know if he had sex with someone else. We didn't go steady.
Is she avoiding anything? Technically not. See, there's something off here. This one must know she's deploying flares and countermeasures.
We ordered toxicology reports. Any idea what that will show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
Something miraculous is coming. He told me.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change. All right, let's see where this is going.
From the northwest.
Cool.
Could it be that love did him in?
It very well could be, yes.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
He told me that love did him in.
That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
Did he enjoy his death?
Why do you ask?
It's just a feeling I have. Indulge me.
Well, it's wrong. He had too many drinks to down and too many bad things to do. Couldn't tap out just yet.
Everything checks out here. It's all A-OK. Good answer.
And he had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It was an ornate map of the waterways?
Sure. Waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
Is this Orani's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Orani's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us precisely what these mean?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
His eyes were blue?
Yes. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies. It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
It's clear she was very much attracted to him, and still is.
You found him attractive.
Of course. He was the most strangely beautiful man I've ever been with. And I mean that. And now he's...
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. I'll get over it, once I don't have to look at him anymore.
And do you know how old he was?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no, we even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die. The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you. She's clearly sensing something. A spike in testosterone levels, perhaps.
Where is Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
You were both from Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranyenrek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex, alcohol, speed, probably also sildenafil. No love for Mother Oranje, but wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
A military man, but not a patriot?
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
You don't seem like much of a patriot yourself.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Moindi. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
Yeah.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Where's this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
Kim, how old do you think I am? How old do I look?
How old? 58.
Oh god, that's really old. You're probably right.
Actually, make that 54. Alcoholism has severely impacted your appearance, and I was wrong about the age of the deceased.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Cool. So let's see what's next. Murder weapon. By ourselves. Oh yeah, let's talk to Titus again about the Megamix.
It's you again. What is it?
I talked to Classy about the tape. And nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Yeah, it was bad. Honestly, I expected it to have more of an effect.
No shit, it was bad. The fuck did she say then? It's all fuck-a-doodle fine. This is what people are supposed to talk like?
Actually, it made her nostalgic.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore. Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawmen?
Women are crazy. Irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, Your fists are itching for a bump. No, they're not. And you're not itching for any bumps. Don't betray your inexplicable feminist ideals for cheap macho friend points.
Maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
She's not some helpless girl. She handled the mercenary well enough.
Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
Maybe she's still in denial, you know, like a defense mechanism?
Yeah, maybe. That is a possibility.
Titus, you need to be straight with me. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. They're confused. This is growing over their heads.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!" That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Ooh, rhetoric. Let's see if we can boost our rhetoric real quick. Oh, -1 rhetoric? Okay, this is the best we can do then.
It's you again. What is it?
Come on, come on, come on. 72%. We can pass this. Aww.
Glazier is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All
It's clearly being, okay, man, it's clearly being played like a fiddle. Play an imaginary fiddle.
We fucking ain't, asshole. No one's fiddling anyone in here.
No, Glenn. I want to hear this. Who do you think is fucking fiddling me?
Who do you think?
I think you're losing it, Fiddle Man.
No. This fucking clown is trying to get to...
He'll put the fiddle down. Put it down, officer.
I do not understand. This fiddle...
Damn, fiddle play didn't work. All right, so I think the next plan then is to go to the western part, or to the western island, cross over there, and continue our investigation. Actually, we can look at the bullet real quick again.
The bullet is still safely sealed away. A rifle. Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique, or a retrofitted antique. The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Is anyone still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling. Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
I think I know where this came from.
Okay. And?
The shot probably came from a Belle Margrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
That's a good
I have
thing.
to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
I think we should have more powerful guns. We're the law. Actually, no, it makes you consider every shot. Kind of like it.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Could the victim have been mixed up with some foreign guerrilla fighters?
Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Now, what was it we need for Hardy? Rhetoric?
It's you again. What is it?
Rhetoric, yeah. Okay, we have a higher chance now. Let's try it one more time.
It's you again.
What is it?
Convince Titus he's being manipulated? Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now. Titus will never falter.
But one of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
That's it. Case closed. Going home, Ken.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Ken. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
They just hang you like in the Dark Ages. Make a display of your corpse. Wait, no. They hang you, shoot you, whatever. Wait, no. They just hang you, shoot you, let you on fire. They don't care.
We didn't light him on fire.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus.
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. Angie,
Where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat?
Aw.
Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Evrard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
Kim, we did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway?
In a manner of speaking.
Hers?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her then, isn't it? The drug trafficker, the missing eighth Hardy?
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You know it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy Boys. And that's it.
But can you tell me about this affiliate name, current location?
You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
I'm sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
The girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another girl? 2 of them? Take note of this.
It's probably the other girl that was working here.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Klasia came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
What happened then?
Went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. And there was a bullet hole through the window. That fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking?
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess.
If Classy didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
She told us some people were after her from Oranje. She wouldn't say more.
Yeah, she wouldn't. She's fucked if she shows up on police radar.
And who are these people?
They're powerful, connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed the Merc then?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
And what are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klasia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Trinell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do if I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
Thank you, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
Hey, cop. Before you go, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
you would still prefer if we didn't take her away.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
Okay, let's go set up to talk to her. But with us, well, definitely progressing the investigation a fair amount, I think this is a safe place for us to call a stream. So I want to thank you all for stopping by, and we should be back Friday to see where our investigation leads to. So I shall see you all then.